searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, because eyes so bright.
Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to Scheananigans. I'm joined today by 2/3 of this side of the hill podcast because, you know, someone's got to watch the baby. Mm-hmm. We've got my BFF Janet and her BFF, the mayor of Titty City himself, Jared. Let's go.
Was not expecting that intro. Hello.
Yeah. Is that your favorite intro I've done?
Yes. I love it. Oh my God. I'm blushing. I feel so honored.
Wait, is your Instagram bio not Mayor of Titty City?
No, but it's going to be changed very shortly.
Yeah, he's like
God.
updating now.
You want to explain why you're Mayor of Titty City?
Yeah, is that it?
We're going to get into it.
Yeah. Let's leave him with a little bit of curiosity.
For sure. How are we doing? How was everyone's New Year?
It was good.
Dude, New Year slapped, baby.
Yeah.
We went to a burlesque show.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, at the Kookaburra Lounge.
Yeah, love that place.
Yeah, I know they're doing another burlesque night closer to Valentine's Day. And Brock said he would rather go there for comedy, not to see girls dancing and stripping. So
honestly, the burlesque was so good.
Burlesque is not...
He's not into it. He's like, I don't know where to look.
It's
I just
so
he's awkward.
Yeah. Huh.
With burlesque specifically or with like
Both.
women
Strip
stripping?
clubs, burlesque.
But burlesque and stripping
I
is
know.
so different.
We've
you
been
know?
to a burlesque.
Burlesque
Okay.
is
And
like
he didn't like
talent.
it.
The stripping
Burlesque
takes
is for
talent
women.
too, but
I feel like burlesque is for the
Yeah.
female gaze.
Right. So
You
I'm
know?
thinking we do a girls' night,
I'm
like a
down
little
for that.
Galentine's,
Yes.
and go to the burlesque.
Yes.
I love
And I
that.
told
I
Katie,
love a burlesque
I said
show.
add some drag into it too. Drag,
Mhm.
burlesque,
yeah.
make it like a whole...
Yeah.
They seem like they go together.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah.
Are we feeling any different now that it's, a new year? New year, new me?
I actually am a little bit. We were talking about this on our podcast a little bit, how resolutions before this year, I feel like I was always like, what am I going to stop doing? Or like, there's nothing I have to do. But when I have a baby now, I feel like there's goals that I want to set for the first time ever. Like there's like, I want to like make sure like we're reading like multiple books every day instead of only stuff at night. And like, I don't know, just little things. Like I want to make sure Cam gets out more and is socializing more. And I don't know. I've all my like goals and New Year stuff is all related to like mom baby things.
Yeah.
Before I didn't care.
I mean, I don't have any resolutions at all. I've kind of died off on the resolution thing. I feel like we did talk about this ad nauseum, but just like the pressure that it puts on at the beginning of the year, I don't like feeling that pressure. So I'd rather kind of have an idea of what I want to start doing. For me, it's stop vaping. So I'm going to like, but it's not like a cold turkey thing on January 1st because I was hungover and I needed it. So it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, but I'm also
totally.
not
I had
going to...
a hair of the dog yesterday too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna keep trying, but not put that pressure where it's like, oh shit, now I have to start in 2026. So that's where I stand at it, kind of like a half and half thing.
For sure. I know. I was like, oh, let's do dry January, but I'm like, you know what? Honestly, when you do like those hard goals, and it's not always realistic, not that I need to drink. But if there's an event coming up or something, a dinner, I want to have a glass of wine. I'll be like, no, I'm doing dry January. I cannot drink at all.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I wanted a hair of the dog. We were at Lance Bass's house in Palm Springs till God knows what hour. It was, I don't know, 3,
That looked fun.
4. I don't know. It was really late, but it was so much fun.
That's really fun. So he has a house in Palm Springs near you?
10 minutes from me.
Oh, that's
my
And
God.
it's so nice. So the day before we went over there and got the kids together and they swam and played and
He
it
has
was so much
twins?
fun. Yeah.
And are they the same age as Summer?
They're 6 months apart, but
Oh,
they're
wow.
in the
Okay.
same class.
That's the same age.
Yeah.
They're such
That's
sweeties.
cute.
I actually did their men's grooming for a shoot one time years ago before they had kids and stuff. It's such a lovely couple.
Yeah. I love them.
Lance's mother-in-law was there, and she was just such a spitfire too.
Yeah.
She's
Really?
such a funny, iconic woman. She just loves her gay sons. Like it's
Aw.
so cute.
Yeah. No, it's so cute. I want to get them back on the pod because I had Lance on so many years ago. I mean, probably like 5 years ago at this point. It was back when I was over at Podcast One, so a long time
Oh,
ago.
wow.
And I think that Michael was with him that day, but he was just like sitting in the studio. He wasn't an actual guest. So I want to have Brock and I do one with the two of them. And we talked about doing this last year, but with the Trolls movie coming out in DreamWorks, it was like on a press hold.
Yes.
And then we just haven't done it. But we had such a fun weekend. I'm like, we got to put this on the pod.
That is iconic.
Yeah.
That.
How long do you guys think until we are going to stop writing 2024 on like forms, or do people still write checks, like personal checks?
I don't know.
I haven't had a checkbook in many years.
No. I feel like it takes a month.
Do you know, I don't feel like I wrote 2024 at all last year. Like, I feel like I was stuck on 2023. So I feel like this will be an easy jump for me.
I know. I feel like it takes me a minute, like any contract or whatever. If you're typing it, maybe, but whenever I'm writing it, it takes me a while.
I feel like we don't write stuff anymore, actually.
Yeah. And then it'll just autocorrect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I'm trying to think. I just signed something recently, but I don't know if it was for like, I'm buying a new car, if it was paperwork.
You're
I had to
buying a
fill
new
out for that.
car?
I am.
You're like me. You hold on to cars forever.
Yeah, that's why I'm buying it, not leasing, because I'm going to keep it forever. I've had my Ford for over 8 years.
We all three do this. This is the one thing like one of many three things we have in common is we keep our cars forever.
Yes.
Mine's a 2014 or 2013.
Me too.
Yeah. Mine's a 2016. Yeah, I've had that for
Nice.
8 years. I had my Z up until it was stolen since 2009.
That's wild.
2009?
Yes, I drove it brand new off the lot. Well, I test drove it brand new and then it was sent to me by a broker or whatever. But like, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Like a car broker.
Car
I
broker.
don't
right?
know that stuff.
Yeah,
Scheana.
no, I remember saying this and they're like, you didn't drive it off the lot. They delivered it to you. I was like, well, I
thing.
test drove it off the
Same
lot,
thing.
whatever.
What car are you getting?
So I really like the new Lincoln Aviators,
I
the
like those.
2025 ones. I saw one driving in Palm Springs. And here's the thing. I haven't paid for it yet. I've just ordered it. But I'm starting to have buyer's remorse and I haven't even bought it yet. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I like it in black.
Oh.
So
Is it one of those big things? You have to describe it for someone who doesn't know what cars are at all.
It's a SUV
Oh,
that's
okay.
similar. It's like if my Ford Explorer Sport and a Range Rover had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more
If they copy
elegant
Yeah.
than my Ford, but it's really nice. And it's actually a tiny bit smaller.
Oh,
When
okay.
I opened up the back to see the storage space, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to downsize. Brock wants, like, Lala just got a Denali. Like, he wants, like, a big car. And I'm like, maybe when we get rid of the Ford, we can get a big car, but I don't want something bigger as my everyday car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Z was my drive around town, do errands, you know, when I'd come over the hill to the podcast. That was my
Yeah.
little race car. I don't want to have like this massive tank. I'm having a parallel park on one-way streets in Beverly Hills. Like,
so annoying.
no.
Yeah.
So I really like the Aviator, but the one I saw in Palm Springs this weekend was silver.
Hmm.
And I was like, shit, I ordered black because I wanted black on black. But now I'm thinking maybe I'll just wrap it and do
Yeah.
like a light gray silver wrap on it because then that also protects the paint.
I like that.
And then when you unwrap it, you'll be like, oh my God.
It's a brand new car.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
Well, that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Mom
so
on the go.
I'm excited, but I don't know when it's going to come. It said that the order was placed. And,
Wait, you have buyer's remorse in advance. Are you going to stick with it? Or are you going to remorse
I mean,
yourself
when
out
it
of it?
comes, I'll make sure I like that one because I test drove one, but I didn't test drive mine.
We will be expecting a follow-up on this.
There will be, for sure. I'm
Okay.
like, you know, if I don't like the color of it, I can just wrap it
Okay.
instead of like, wait to order a silver one. I don't know. Anyway, how did you both spend the holidays? Are you sad or relieved that they're over?
I'm kind of.
Oh.
I feel like the holidays we talked about this is like the perfect amount of time. Like sometimes it feels like they fly by, but I feel like especially when Christmas Day is on midweek and New Year's Day is in midweek, it feels like you really get the full experience of holidays.
Although we did get called out because I said the same thing. I was like, it's so nice it's on a Wednesday. And people who work
Oh.
jobs were kind of like, it's actually a little annoying because some of us have to go back to work like that Thursday or
Yeah.
Friday. And they're like, we actually prefer if it's like on a Thursday or a Friday. And we're like, oh my God, it's awesome. It's the middle of the week. Like
Yeah.
we get to do nothing. And
we were
it's
like, everybody gets 2 weeks off this year. And
I don't know,
everybody
there's
was
no
like,
traffic
no.
anywhere the next day. And I'm
Right.
like, wait, there is traffic. But we did a lot of stuff together. I spent Christmas at Janet's because my parents went and saw the grandbabies and stuff. And we had a good, pleasant Christmas.
Yes.
And
Nice.
I'm sad it's over. I'm really sad.
Yeah. Summer is very sad about her elf going back to the North Pole.
What'd she name it this year?
Elfie.
Elfie. Or is it the same name every year? Or do they get a new?
No, because next year it's going to be a different elf, I
Okay,
think, that
got it.
comes to visit.
Yeah.
Maybe a girl elf.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've been, this whole thing, okay? Trigger warning for parents. Again, if you're listening in the car with your kids, you shouldn't be, but I'm going to start talking about stuff. So I realized as I was sending my vlogs to Justice and he's editing them and I'm watching them back, I was like, if I go to like my, solo confessional, if I say something that Summer shouldn't hear, be aware of that for me too, because as I was watching our Christmas vlog with her, the Hawaii one, I was like, oh my God, am I going to say something? I wasn't even thinking until she's watching it with me so I can approve it. And I'm like, what if after I'm like, I can't believe she's falling for this shit. You know, like I didn't.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's still a few more Christmas vlogs to come. So I was like, please be aware of that. Because on the podcast, I talk candidly.
Yeah.
She's not listening to my podcast. She does occasionally scroll Instagram. She does watch my
Summer
YouTube
scrolls
videos.
Instagram?
Yes.
Relatable.
She actually knows what Instagram is. Like,
That's so funny.
she got so pissed at me, you guys, that I put the Moana 1 song on her photo I posted, had a full fit because she wanted the Moana 2 song on her photo.
Baby, get the right
And I was
IP.
like, no, but Summer, I was like, I want the part where it's like, I am Moana. Like, I wanted that from the first song. And so I was like, anyone who's like, she doesn't know what Instagram is.
Is she scrolling on her own account so she only sees like the other kids?
Like she'll look at my page or she'll look at her page.
She's like, what's Ocean up to today? Let me just
That
scroll
is
No,
on
like
so
she
the
just
cute.
looks at like not the feed, like not on the timeline. She'll just be like, Mommy, I want to see my pictures. And so she'll go on her Instagram and just look at all the photos
I'm with
of
you
her.
though. In my head, she's totally just sitting there, just being like, "Oh, there goes Ocean. There goes
Yes.
Hartford. Double tap." Like,
She will look at them if I let her,
That's
but I
cute.
don't just give her my phone to scroll
cute.
on Instagram. But yeah, the Moana thing, I was like, for anyone who says she doesn't know, she knows.
That's funny.
But okay, back to the elf. So this has happened a few times this week. It happened again this morning. She has tears in her eyes. And she's
She
like,
woke up
I
and
just
there's-
miss my elf.
Oh.
And I'm like, I feel like such a terrible person for lying to her, for like making up this story. But I'm like, it's what you do. Santa, elves, all of this. But now I'm like, am I fucking her up?
No.
Like, I don't know. I'm struggling with it because I'm like,
so
do I
sweet,
bring
though.
the elf back? I thought when we left Palm Springs and that's where the elf is, that she wouldn't think about him anymore.
Right.
She hasn't said anything in a couple days. But then this morning I was like, I don't know if I bring him back to be like, just checking in on you, or if I just hope that once all of our Christmas decorations are down, that kind of fades and then we bring it back in December.
Yeah.
I bet you there's a lot of stimulation for a young one who is going through the holidays. You know what I mean? So I'm sure she's probably, just like any other human, she probably has a little come down from all the excitement and stuff. So it probably is hitting her a few days later. But maybe like a little note from Elfie. You know what I mean?
We did that. When he
Okay.
left, we have this
Well, maybe
portal
one
door.
more?
Yeah, that's what I was like, should we? But then Brock, it was so sweet. He FaceTimed me as I'm driving here. And Summer shows me this ornament that his sister got us years ago. And it was on the tree and it says Summer on the back of it. It's white. It's like almost marble and it has a koala imprinted on it in gold. And on the back it says Summer with the heart. And he told her that the elf left that for her. And so she had like a little piece of it today. But when she woke up the morning after, I let him stay one day after Christmas because she went to sleep early. She was so excited for Santa. She didn't get to say bye. And I was like, I don't want to, she needs her goodbye.
Yeah.
And so the next day I had a note said, one more night. And then 2 days after Christmas, we had this portal door where he goes back to the North Pole and he left a note and he left a present. And I'm like, do I do another note or do I just wait and see if in a couple weeks when all of the decorations are down, if it just kind of fades?
Being a parent is so hard. Like every little thing is like, is this going to traumatize my child for the rest of their life? Or is this going to be
literally.
the most joyous occasion? They're going to look back and be like, I had the best childhood ever because of this moment.
Right.
And it's all new stuff that like we didn't have the elf on a shelf when we were kids. So it's not like I can be like, oh, well, actually, it brought me a lot of joy. So it's a good tradition.
Let me tell you,
like,
my
don't
nephews
know.
are hooked on that elf. Like I could not believe that I was like, they would come in running and be like, you're not going to believe where this elf is right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
When
Yeah.
you tell kids that they can't touch something and that there's something magical happening, like, of course, they're all obsessed with these elves.
Yeah.
I guess it's wild to me though. But yeah, I don't know what you would do in that
I
scenario.
don't
Because I
know.
would, I'm a professional uncle. So to me, it's just like give them whatever they want.
Right.
So just have Christmas every day for the rest of the year. I don't know.
Leave the tree
Yeah,
up.
just how
Be
where Santa
different.
is and lives with you guys. I don't know.
Aw.
I will say though, there is something just so special about experiencing Christmas through a child's eyes. There's just that magic and innocence, and they believe in stuff that's not real. But it's like, oh my God. Last year she was 2.5, almost 3. And we definitely had a great Christmas with her. We didn't do the Elf on the Shelf though. But this year, Christmas was just a whole other level. And even her seeing Santa a couple times, she saw him at Knott's Berry Farm. And then I was like, did you tell Santa we're going to see him on Friday? And then she saw him again in Ojai. 2 of the reindeer were there. Like, there are real reindeer at the Ojai Valley Inn. Yeah, it was just really amazing to experience a holiday through her eyes. But the elf thing, it's breaking my
wild.
heart. She was crying and literally singing to the portal door like, Elfie, come back. I was like,
honestly, give her the elf back.
no, I
Give her
know.
the elf
That's I was
back.
like, my mom saw her singing to it, and I'm like, Mom,
Also,
what do
I
I do?
can't
What
with
do
the-
I do?
Cry.
The
That's
portal
so
door.
Sweet and
Just send her through the portal. Can she just go visit the North Pole for like 5 minutes?
Take her to Antarctica and tell her it's the North Pole.
Right. So if she's sad the next, but then I'm like, he's in Palm Springs. I guess I could just order another on Amazon. But
Oh. When do I have to start doing the elf thing? Next year?
No.
no, I would say around 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cameron was just excited this year to rip open all the paper.
Totally.
Yeah, he
That
only
was
cared
the
about
thing.
paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the paper and then the boxes and then all the toys that were underneath. He was just tossing aside to get to the next thing he could tear open.
Do you
His
guys
favorite Christmas present that wasn't even for him, Jason got a new set of golf balls and they come in like 1 box and then 4 boxes and then the balls are inside those boxes. He's been playing with those nonstop. He wants to just take them in and out of all the boxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you
Right.
got all of these toys. I didn't buy him 1 toy though.
Yeah.
Jason and I did not get him 1 single toy.
Yeah.
I told everybody else not
Can't
to get him
say the
anything.
same.
Every grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody sent stuff. So
Well, we did get
Too
him
much.
presents. I actually have them in my car,
Oh,
but
fun.
it's clothes.
okay, that's good.
Because I figure he has enough
When he
toys.
grows so
and-
fast. These kids grow
No,
fast.
exactly.
What's up with that?
And my mom was like, when are you going to give this gift to Janet? Because he's going to grow out of it before I see her.
You know what he loves that your mom got me actually is there's a mom and a baby stuffed animal pig that she gave me like years ago. And I've obviously just held on to them.
Yeah.
And he sleeps with a baby pig every night.
Aw.
Aww.
That's so cute.
Yeah. I need to send a picture to your mom.
Yeah,
so
for
sweet.
sure.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break and then we're going to get back into the mayor of Titty City. We're back. Okay, everyone, it is a new year. You know that feeling, new year, new me, doing whatever you want to do for yourself to feel like the best version of yourself. One of those things you might want to do is try Noom. And I want to talk to you about how most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. Well, Noom builds personal plans that can meet an individual's needs. They take into account dietary restrictions, medical issues, and other personal needs to build a plan that works specifically for you. Noom is built for your psychology and your biology, meeting you where you are. They understand that not everyone is starting from the same place and takes that into account. With their psychology and biology-based approach, Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. This program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. They help you build new habits for a healthier lifestyle. And to date, Noom has helped more than 5.2 million people lose weight. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. And now that winter is here, one thing I'm getting back into is my laser hair removal. Anyone who has followed me along on the podcast or Instagram knows that I've been doing laser hair removal for many, many years now because it feels so good to not have to shave every day, every other day. You know what I'm talking about. Ideal Image is North America's #1 medical aesthetics provider. They lead the category by delivering affordable and effective face and body treatments through the industry's largest network of doctors and licensed professionals. They believe that loving ourselves as we become the best versions of ourselves is ideal. It is one of the things that just makes you feel like your most confident self. So I have done under my arms, my bikini, and my legs. And although it doesn't take the hair away forever, it makes the regrowth so much less. Like I only shave my legs now once a month, which is incredible, especially in the summer seasons to not have to shave my legs every day. Oh my God. Laser hair removal treats the hair follicles right at the root to permanently reduce unwanted hair. Who wants hair under their arms? The bikini line? I mean, unless you're my girl Janet, no one really wants hair down there. Laser hair removal saves time and money compared to a lifetime of shaving and waxing. Trust me. And here I have an exclusive $100 off offer for our listeners. Get $100 off and your free consultation when you schedule at ideal.vip/Scheana. That's www.ideal.vip/SCHEANA. And we're back. So I have to know, are your trees still up?
Yes.
Of course.
This week they're going down, though. I feel like you'd have to take them down within the first week of January.
Oh my God. I hate these made up rules.
Right. And you're not supposed to put it up before Thanksgiving.
It takes the magic out of it when it's up too long.
Whose magic are you talking about?
My magic.
Okay, well, there you go.
My house is
That's
going to
your
look
journey.
so plain when we take everything down.
So sad.
I know, but they come on the 12th to
Who's
remove
they?
all the...
Who's they?
The decorators
We send
I
them over to
hired.
my house afterwards, too.
No, literally, I hired the best decorator and she did my tree, the kitchen, like all
Your
of the stuff.
The present on your front door thing is really
Brock
cute.
did the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he did the outside,
Okay,
but my friend Ashley
How much
did
does
the
it cost?
inside. It depends how much you want because she does all the shopping.
What's the range?
So anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000.
Okay.
But you could do very minimal and have it be 700-800.
Do you
Like
keep
Summer's
the
room was
stuff?
only a few hundred. You keep everything.
So then next year it'll be cheaper if she uses the same
Correct.
stuff? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but we
I love that.
yeah, we did more minimal with her because I still wanted to do some stuff on my own. Like I wanted Summer to
Yeah.
decorate our tree. And then my mom did the garland on the stairs. And
Cute.
if we had her do everything, it would have been about 4,400.
Wow.
And that's just for the inside.
Can't wait till I'm on season 10 or something. If I survive that long.
I mean, it definitely...
That's some real season 10 money bullshit.
I love that.
It was 11.
$4,000
Okay.
for decorations. You're like, I hope I make it 10 years on TV. As if you can't just ask Jason for that.
Right?
Jason would never.
He would soon rather, I don't even know.
That would
what.
be-
Just don't tell him how much it costs.
Yeah, it'd be
It
like
would-
it's 400.
It's not even funny because I don't have access to any of Jason's stuff. We have completely separate.
Yeah, that's how Brock and I are.
Mm-hmm.
I learned my lesson the first marriage.
Not knowing
Fool me
is
once,
really,
baby.
Yep.
Not knowing what other people are spending. We have separate Amazon accounts too. Like that.
that
we-
one is wild to me.
We
That one
share
is truly
an
wild to
Amazon
me.
account. So you
Separate-
both pay for Prime?
Yeah.
That, is that crazy
That's
to
dumb.
you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't
Yeah.
want him seeing everything I get, and I don't want to see everything he gets.
What are you buying on
Okay,
Amazon?
I do understand that part
Just-
because around Christmas time, Courtney and Justice are also on my Amazon
Yeah.
account. And I meant to just buy them a Prime account each for Christmas because when we're ordering stuff for each other and then I'm checking
You
the
get
status of
notifications.
something, it's
Oh, good point.
so it is
yeah.
hard when the families share an account for that reason only.
Mhm. I just,
And if you're trying to hide
yeah.
things from your husband, hopefully Jason's not listening.
the whole thing, well, it's not like I'm trying to hide things, but if I'm ordering, I don't know, there's certain stuff that I'm like,
Go ahead,
I
cover it
spend
up.
maybe too
Uh-huh.
much money on, that he would be like, wait, how much you spend on this? Like, I don't want him
You just want
knowing
some
that.
things to be your things.
And I order him lots of like presents and stuff on
Yeah,
it. And
That makes sense.
I don't know. I think separate bathrooms, separate bank accounts are like two keys to happy marriage.
Yeah.
Well, your bathroom's big enough. You guys are fine.
But that's why we had to buy a house.
Yeah.
Because the bathroom in our condo compared to our house in San Diego and even Palm Springs, the condo, it was not even a separate room. Like the bathroom, the actual toilet and shower, you could close the door. But then the sink was in our bedroom. You know, it was like a
Oh,
separate
yeah.
area where it was like a little nook.
Mm-hmm.
But when I would come home, if it was like I went out for the night, Brock's in bed, I would sometimes use the downstairs bathroom to
Oh.
take my makeup off and stuff because
Yeah.
I have to turn the light on. And that turns the
That's
light
very
in the bedroom
hotel
on.
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where like the sink is just
exactly.
sitting in the bedroom kind
No,
of thing.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I loved everything about that condo except our fucking bathroom.
Mhm.
So I was like, we have to buy a bigger house. And that's why I have an obnoxious bathroom now. We do still have at least the separate closets. I have half of his, but anyway. Okay, wait, hold on. I wanted to ask you because I heard that one of your big Christmas presents from Santa husband was spoiled this year.
Oh, yeah. My
Wait,
like,
okay, how did that happen? Was Jason upset?
So, hey, Jason always, he was upset. He always does last minute Christmas shopping. Like normally it's like the 20th. I can tell he's sweating a little bit and he's like, wait, what did you say you want again? And he's like panicking because he's looking online. Nothing's going to arrive on time. He's like, shit. So this year he actually went to the mall early December, got me luggage. Like my luggage I've had for 10 years and like the wheels just don't work that well anymore. So I had said like, I kind of need, new luggage, but I hadn't really thought much of it after that. Then I get a text, I won't say the brand, but from a nice luxury luggage place that's like, hi, Janet, hope you're enjoying your new luggage. Like if you need anything, like here's our contact for the store.
It's like 2 days before Christmas.
No, it was like the week of Christmas, and I'm like, that's weird. But I get a
You're
lot
like
of
report junk, delete, spam.
Well, my number is still associated with a lot of the people I used to work for when I was an assistant. So I get a lot of texts like this from similar brands that are like where I put my own contact down instead of theirs for privacy. So I'll get a lot of texts of like, hey, you have a dentist appointment coming up, and I'm like, that must be for like this, and I'll forward a lot of these texts off to people I used to work for. So I was like, who probably did that? Like, and then it occurred to me like, wait, I've told Jason I need luggage. I was like, there's no way though he already did it. So I kind of like, I was like, hey, I got a weird text today. And he was like, what? And he was so upset. He was like, all right, well, I guess like what I got you. And he's like, but that's so annoying because when I went into the store, he like made a profile for me at the place so that if I need a repair or something for the luggage,
upon their encourament, and they were like, there's no contact, it's just for the future, so for warranty.
Lies.
And
yes,
all
they were like,
stuff.
you won't have to come in, without her. She could come in on her own to get anything fixed or whatever. And so I was like, oh my God, I was like so excited, but he was so bummed. And I felt bad because he actually like took the time and like did everything early, did all the stuff that like I always want him to do. And then they ruined it. So he called them and he's like, I think I'm going to return it. But he also had everything monogrammed already. And the thing is that because it was huge packages, he left them at the store and he was going to pick them up like on the 23rd or something and keep them in his car. So he was like, they texted you that while the stuff is sitting behind them at the store. So he was bummed, but then he called them and was like, well, I'm thinking about returning it. And they really did not want him to return that purchase, which I'm sure had a pretty big commission for their sales girl. So they ended up sending a bunch of free stuff, which was nice.
Oh, nice.
Which is why we're not saying their name. Louis Vuitton. No, can you imagine?
No, so they sent me like some nice like inserts and stuff for the luggage and like toiletry bags that are all monogrammed too. So I was like,
that's nice.
I'm pretty sure they
fine.
sent him a Christmas present
Yeah,
too.
they sent him some stuff too.
Like, and here's your full new
They
set.
were like, please. So
please don't trash us on Scheananigans.
Yeah. But it was nice. And the luggage was gorgeous.
It's
and
gorgeous.
it's like really great.
That's
I'm
one
excited
thing
for it.
I need to invest in. I swear, like I will drop 10 grand on a trip to Hawaii for the whole fam. But if I have to spend like $500 on a new suitcase, no. Like I won't do it. I just get a new one on Amazon. When it breaks, it breaks.
Yeah.
And get a new one. My luggage doesn't match. It's exposure therapy. I tell myself for my OCD, I'm like, it's fine. It doesn't match. It does, but literally,
Not exposure therapy because you have unmatching suit.
I like things to match, you know?
That's so funny.
But everyone has the Bays luggage. Is that even how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And
I don't have that one. That's not the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Are you trying to find out what it is? Everyone has the bay.
Right?
No, yeah. It was.
But yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good
So,
for you and your exposure therapy at baggage claim.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I've been following this Christmas Village journey on
my God.
Instagram, Jared. So for those who don't know,
Will you highlight it on your story so people can
Yeah,
go
sure.
look back,
and
please?
we really need to know how long Titty City will remain on display.
Yes.
I think so. I have this like window that jets out of my apartment unit, and that's where my Christmas Village, the Lamax collection, who remains to leave me on red and will not respond to any of my
keeps tagging
The
Instagrams.
them.
nerve.
Yeah. So
I have to assume it's like an 85-year-old running that account though, because their
I don't know if they
audience
posted in
is-
like 30 yeyears or something. I'm like, how do you guys? Anyways, so I have this Christmas Village in my window, and it's got 8 gorgeous pieces of land and
Wait, 8?
or 7 pieces of land and property and stuff. So I want to keep it up until my birthday, which is March 27th. So, but it's not just a Christmas village. It's a wintry holiday village.
Okay.
There's a fishmonger shop. There's Bob's sausage shop. There's a candle shop, which famously has a candle instead of a chimney. There's the Elf Lodge, which obviously has a great buffet and wonderful places to stay.
Aren't there 2 bars?
There is The elves get so annoyed because I have Schmitty's, the brewery, and then I also have the eggnog bar. But the eggnog bar only serves eggnog, so people are like,
not spiked eggnog.
No, eggnog. Isn't all eggnog spiked eggnog?
No.
Is eggnog eggs?
Yeah, it's
or
like
is it nog?
There is eggs
egg in
it.
it.
That's what makes it kind of thicky.
I need to pop into the
soupier.
eggnog bar and find out exactly what's going on in there. Anyways, everyone has to have some hobbies. You know what I mean? And
Right.
this has been so weirdly fulfilling. It's like I'm so neurotic. Like my neighbors must think I'm crazy. I go out every morning and check and make sure everything's pristine. But I've had a rough 5 years, and I missed out on a lot of holidays when I was sick and
Right.
stuff. So for me, even though it's very goofy and I like lean into it hard, it is so fun to have like a very cheery holiday, and it cheers me up. So,
I love that.
So I am going to keep Titty City, which Janet named.
Okay, well, we have to explain this. Well, first of all,
Okay. Yeah, explain how you got started into it and like where the name came
so basically
from.
last year I just got I got 3 buildings that were discounted. I was like, these are so pretty. I want to put them out for Christmas, whatever.
Now it's become a
And
whole
then,
village.
and I was also like going through my hip recovery. So it was just kind of like feeling good. So then this year I was like, oh, I'm going big or going home.
I love it.
And then Janet decided to get me a couple of buildings as Christmas presents.
well, he had said when he had his 3 buildings, he's like, I'm really, really want to be mayor. And I was like, well, nobody's stopping you. You can just name yourself mayor. He's like, no, the elves have to elect me. And he's like, you can't just be a mayor
have to
with
have
3
5
buildings. You have
buildings.
to have 5 to have a township to be the mayor. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I know Jared's spending Christmas with us. It's like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. I had gotten him a couple other little things, but I was like, I got to get him the last 2 houses. So I'm like racing to Michael's. I'm like, not the Michael's that he goes to because he's already cleaned them out. I know of all the good stuff.
all gone.
So, and I know which buildings he has. So I'm scouring Michael's. I find the sausage place and what other
Bob's
thing?
sausage shop
And
the
the candle
fishmonger
shop.
and the candle shop. Yeah.
So I got him those. And then I was like, okay, I need to get, this is again 2-3 days before Christmas. I'm like, I have to get him like a sash or a crown or something that says like mayor or town mayor or something.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on Amazon what will ship that will get here on Christmas Eve. And there were 2 items. One was American flag hat that said Mayor of Titty City, and then they had a pink version. I was like, the American flag one seems like a little like, I don't know.
Masculine
Yeah,
or
like
aggressive.
not as like cutesy, but the pink one says great. But I was like, but it still says Titty City. I'm like, I think he'll think this is funny. So I got him the Titty City hat.
And now Sparkle's Christmas Village has now been renamed Titty City.
I
We
love
can cut
it.
this entire segment, by the way. This is so not important. Long story
love
short is
it.
I had a psychotic break. It decided to have a mini Christmas village, and now I'm convinced that the elves are trying to unelect me.
I also
Anyways.
asked him if I was like, well, I got you 2 buildings, so can I get like some sort of government role?
Right.
And he's like, you can't buy your way in, Janet. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
But can I just say shout out Lamax one more time?
Yeah.
Lamax.
It really is great.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I'm glad that you have that hobby.
Thank
It's
you.
something to do. And I
Thank
say
you.
leave it up through March.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let it be a winter wonderland
Yeah.
all of winter.
Until it warms
all
up.
the live long day.
Maybe I'll go until July.
Yeah. Oh,
Let's do it. Christmas in July.
Yeah.
You know? I just gave him an idea.
You guys saw Copy's doing on something over here.
Did you guys, when you were kids, ever snoop at your Christmas presents?
One time, and it ruined it. I felt so much guilt.
Really?
Yeah,
What
because we
was the
didn't have a
gift?
Nintendo 64. And so we were like, me and my brother got up and we're like, let's just look at one of the smaller presents. And it was a Nintendo 64 game. And we felt so guilty. We were like,
Did your parents know?
we told on ourselves. We were like,
told on
we looked, we ruined, because we just felt so much guilt because we wanted one so bad.
no.
But that was the only time I learned
Yeah.
my lesson.
Okay.
I like to be surprised.
I think I looked for the stash of gifts often. Like my mom had like in her closet, there was like a little storage, like a little door that had a storage thing in the
Yeah.
attic, and she would hide stuff there sometimes. And then in the basement in another like crawl space area. So I would always like around December, I think like look around those places, but my mom was on to me. So I never spoiled anything.
Yeah. Your mom was on
What
to you
about
while
you?
you were
Were you a
in the
sneaky
master
peek?
bedroom
Yeah.
or the
mom's-
primary.
My mom still hardcore defends that. She says that I didn't make her get out of that room, that she gave it to me.
Such bullshit.
Mm.
Were you a sneaky peeker?
No, I think the only thing I remember growing up was waking up and just like going out to peek to see if there were more presents. Like, did Santa come? But then I would go back to bed.
Did your mom do the thing where like to sprawl out the presents to make them so big and like fill up the whole living room?
We still do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
us too.
No, literally, it was in Palm Springs. I feel like now that I have this big new house, it's just we've always done Christmas in Palm
I love
Springs.
a Palm Springs Christmas at Scheana's.
But now I'm like,
Classic.
I don't know if we should do one at our new house or if we just always keep it there because that is the tradition. That's what Summer's already grown up with. But my living room there is much smaller.
Yeah.
And, we do. We like to buy a lot of gifts, even when we just, by we, I mean me, spend so much on a Christmas family vacation. I still want things for everyone to open up.
Of course.
So I wait till last minute. I go to the mall because then also if things don't fit or things want to be returned, you still have time. If you start shopping too early, then the window of time, all of that. But we had so many presents already out. My mom asked, she goes, can we leave the presents out? Or does Summer think Santa brings everything? I was like, no, she's going to know some stuff comes from us. He doesn't get all the fucking credit,
Hell no.
No. So we have so many that I was like, where are Santa's presents going to go? Because all of the toys are from Santa, she said. Santa only brings toys. And so we had to clear out the little, her little crawling slide thing. Yeah. That's now gone. And we just had all of Santa's presents go by the window. I've got to say that I need to post a link to this. I'm going to post a story. I did a time lapse. The best $25 we spent on Amazon is the house that it's a cardboard house.
Oh, yeah.
That you build that, I can actually fit inside of it. Both of us can fit inside of it.
You color.
But you color it.
Yeah.
Just with markers.
It's really cool.
Her and Ocean had so much fun just coloring. Summer spent hours this past week coloring this house. And it was such a great activity for her and I to do together. My dad did some with her. Brock did. My mom.
And it's just cardboard.
$25 on Amazon. Cardboard.
It looks like a coloring book on the outside. Like it's like black and white.
Yeah, it has like a wreath
and
all of these things that you color. Gumdrops on the roof. It's like a gingerbread house.
That is so smart.
Yeah.
That is such a good idea.
They also have cars. They have like different ones, but
that's cool.
We got it. And so now that lives in my living room. So it'll be Christmas there until the house is finished coloring and then I'll buy her the car one or something. Yeah. But best $25
and the elf can
spent.
show up driving that car.
That's so funny. This just reminded me because you were saying like, how do we separate like the Santa presents from like what we're getting her? I have two little girl cousins and when they were young and still believed in Santa, we always would go to my grandma's house. My grandma and grandpa, my grandma would write Santa from Santa on everything. And sometimes we get us like one or two little things that would say grandma and grandpa, but for the most part, it was Santa. And my little cousins, once they were old enough to realize like that grandma and grandpa and then Santa are like, separate. I guess after Christmas, they were like, do grandma and grandpa not like us? Like they didn't get us anything for Christmas. And my aunt was like debating, like, do I tell them that the 90 presents they just opened are actually from grandma and grandpa? Yeah. And it was like this whole debate on whether we tell them or not.
Yeah. So and then there was this one thing that my mom bought her. It was a golf thing where when you hit the ball, it has like the Velcro on it. And it's like you get this many points. And then there's the holes that you can shoot it in. And she's good at golf and she enjoys it. But she was like, Santa got this for me. Yeah. My mom could not let her think that it was from Santa. She goes, Summer, I got that for you. And she's like, I'm getting credit for this. And Summer was like, no, Nani, this is from Santa. And she's like, Summer, I bought that. I'm like, Mom, just let her think it's from Santa. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
That's cute.
Yeah, but
you got to get your credit sometimes.
Yeah.
Summer is a good little shot, or is that what it's called?
She's got a good shot.
Yeah.
Or a good aim or something, a good putt-putt.
Yeah.
Form.
I don't know.
She has good form.
Golf swing, a good swing.
When we were there, we went down to the greens, Brock and I and Lala and Osh, and Summer grabbed a hold of that thing. And
she
I was like,
smacks it.
Yeah.
I was like afraid to go up against her at putt-putt or something.
Well, we also realized that she's lefty with golf. So Brock bought her a left-handed
Is she right-handed
putter
the other
or whatever.
time?
Yeah, she writes with her right. She colors with her right. But he noticed the way that she was holding the club just seemed like she wasn't getting it. And then when he got her the left one, now it's like even better.
Ambidextrous queen.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think there's an advantage to being a left-handed golfer. I think I've heard Jason say this, but that's the extent
There's
of my knowledge on the topic.
No other follow-up on that fact.
I think.
That's all. Okay, we're going to take one more little break and then I'll be right back. Isn't it great when you can get someone a gift they wouldn't necessarily get for themselves? Like a little bit of luxury that they don't know they're missing. For quality gifts at an affordable price, my go-to for the last 2 years has been Quince. Quince lets you treat your loved ones and yourself to everyday luxury at an affordable price. There's something everyone needs in their closet, in my opinion. Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters is exactly that. And they start at only $50. Or if you're looking for a more year-round sort of gift, you can check out their 14-karat gold jewelry, Italian leather handbags, and European linen sheet sets. Whatever you're looking for, Quince has it. And all of their items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. How do they do it, you might ask? Well, by partnering directly with top factories and cutting out the cost of the middleman, that passes the savings on to you. Quince is on the nice list this holiday season. Santa said so. They only work with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, and they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel in every piece. Summer has the softest sweaters that I am so sad she's going to grow out of. We've got to pass them on and keep them in the family because they feel so amazing. She's so cozy every time she wears them, and the cutest little matching sets that we got as well. So gift luxury this holiday season without the luxury price tag. Go to quince.com/honey for 365-day returns plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/honey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/honey. And we're back. So I know now most of my listeners know the origin story of how Janet infiltrated this friend group. Just kidding.
Oh my God, I forgot about
she
that.
graced us with her presence all the way from Ohio. I feel like all roads lead back to Mondrian, you know, whether it's friendships being forged or iconic reality TV scenes. Like, didn't we see season one of The Valley? Mondrian?
Yeah.
Was it Jax's hair?
Jax's hair loss.
Yeah. So
that
many.
dinner. Yeah, that's the dinner
scenes.
that everybody was like pushing and shoving and screaming in the
Iconic.
hallway. Yeah.
Yeah. I think every season of Vanderpump Rules we filmed at the Mondrian. I wonder if the new Vanderpump Rules is going to film at the Mondrian. If they're going to like film at the same places that we filmed at.
I love it.
It will be interesting to watch.
God, every time I think about that
stains
dinner,
all over the place.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there having contractions the whole time because everybody was screaming at each other, but I didn't know what it was. I was like, wow,
Braxton
my stomach's,
Hicks or whatever.
my stomach's like hard as a
Rock
rock.
hard.
And I went to the doctor and she was like, yeah, don't do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, well.
And I know just because you've been in this friend group for so long that I'm sure many of, you know, the listeners and fans have followed you, like literally on Instagram. But I feel like people don't know your original connection to the group. So who was your first friend and how did you become a part of our group that we're so thankful you're a part of?
Yeah, I mean, surprisingly, it was, I did touch-ups on all of you guys for the after show. So that was like a little gig. I knew someone at NBC Universal.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so that's when I met you. And then I really connected with Brittany. And we were just kind of like, she was newer to the show. And so I think getting her makeup done was kind of exciting. And like, we both are from the South and that kind of vibe. So we just really hit it off. And I had, you know, this isn't one of those flexes of like, oh, I'd never seen the show. I was just like your guys' age, working in a restaurant, working as a makeup artist, just like hustling in LA. So I didn't know much about it, but I was like, oh my gosh. And Brittany really was like the fun, like she just reminded me of people who I went to college with and that kind of thing. And so I told them, I was like, you guys know if you ever need makeup for anything, like just hit me up. And I think it was like the start of season 6 or whatever. So there was like, you guys were starting to go to like a lot of premieres. Like I remember I started to do like makeup for Stassi, Kristen, and Brittany. And I'm sure you went to like the nylon party. Like it was becoming more and more like iconic stuff. So I told Kristen and Brittany, I gave them my contact first. And Kristen was the first one to hit me up. And I did her glam for some premiere. And then from then on, it was just, I did Brittany and Kristen for the premiere party of season 6. And then they were like, oh, do you want to come? Do you want to like, have a drink party? And then the next thing you know, it's just like, oh, now I'm at, Stassi and Ariana's birthday party. I did all their glam and now I'm partying with everyone. And, you just vibe with certain people. And then I started to work with Stassi really heavily and we clicked for a while and just, and then, is there a better word than incestuous? I can't think of one right now. But it's just all so interconnected. Totally. So it's like, oh, I'm friends with Stassi. So then I end up doing Katie's makeup. And then I end up, hanging out with you and then Lala. So that's pretty much that. But I would say Brittany and Kristen were kind of like the root of how I got into it.
Yeah.
Even if not everyone, even if we don't all speak at that moments
right
and times, things change, the group ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
But I feel
always
really lucky
does.
too because a lot of makeup artists get into gigs and it's very work.
Totally.
And so I feel very lucky, to have made some of my best, like truly best friends.
Yeah.
Probably like for the rest of my life through just like a chance encounter with makeup with some lipstick.
I love that. And when did you two get close?
A few years ago.
Just only a couple of years ago. Yeah. It was one of those things. She kept inviting. Janet's very good at like inviting people to stuff. And I remember you invited me to a few like Dave and Buster's birthdays and just
Janet
random.
at Dave and Buster's birthday?
Yeah, it's so shocking. But I remember being like, getting this invite, being like, hey, I'm having a party bus and like we're doing this, I'm going today. And I was like, what in the hell? I was like, absolutely not. Under no circumstance am I doing that. And then I finally met Jana, and then I was like, oh my God, I love her. We were actually on some poll of like who was the most hungriest tiger or something in the Vanderpump universe.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually what.
Wait, what?
On
it was
Reddit,
like who's
there was
most
a poll.
thirsty in the thing. And it was like me, Jared, and
it was like two random people. It was
somebody
like
else.
Heather McDonald and like someone random. And we were like, huh?
Who did I win?
No,
we lost.
We lost. We were mad. Randomly not skinny, but not fat one. It was a very, I was like, where are all the actual like hanger-oners?
I was like, I could put a better list together than this.
I was like, I actually work with these girls.
Seriously.
Like, what are you guys talking about? There are so many literal leeches that you guys could be voting on.
No, I know.
But that really bonded us truly. We were like, oh my God, we're both on the top 4 list of hanger-ons.
I love it. It was like right
funny.
around when Jason and I got engaged that you and I were like really close. Because I remember at our engagement party, that was like.
Yeah. Because I was kind of like, are you guys looking for a third? And it was just like one of those things.
And we were, so no.
So then that's how the throuple started with Jason.
And now no one knows who Cameron's father is.
That is too funny.
Ah, that's
Wait,
great.
you mentioned that you were a server. And I heard you received a bad Yelp review.
Oh my God, you really did your
Can
recon.
you elaborate?
So, yes, when I moved to LA, I was like not lifelong, but like a career server in LA. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So I worked in Venice. I was on the west side. So the Venice restaurants are bougie but casual. So there's like this vibe where you kind of can be a dick, but not in like a stuck up way. You're just kind of like, you're going to have to wait your turn. This is Venice, baby. We're casual. Yeah, you're going to pay.
What restaurant?
I worked at Cerviteca, which is no longer open.
Okay.
Venice Beach Wines on Rose, which is an institution.
Love that.
And then this one that we're about to talk about is Superba.
Okay.
So I opened Superba, very like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, fresh food, this and that. Anyways, I'm what you call a hit or miss server. People love me. When I waited on Diana Ross, she told me I was the greatest thing she's ever seen.
Wow.
She was like, you're such a tall drink
Iconic.
of water. And then she said, I was like, what can I get for you to eat? She goes, ha, I don't eat. And I was like, iconic. Anyways, there can be people who come into restaurants like that expecting a certain level of whatever. And so the Yelp review basically said, we love the beautiful establishment. We love the delicious food. We love everything about this. But our server, Jared, was so awful. We'll never return. And I was like,
what did you do to them?
This is one of the things. I usually know everything. I usually know every single thing that happens.
Yeah.
I truly think that they were just mad because I was probably like ignoring them because I did this game during busy brunches where I'd be like, hey, someone take all of my tables because I'm going to go outside and smoke a joint. And so I think that's probably what happened was I was probably just not there. But, like I said, Diana Ross loved me. So it's like a real hit or miss.
Yeah.
They hated me. They never came back. That's fine. I still got tips the other day.
Was that your first negative online comment about yourself?
Are you joking? Oh no! All my Yelp reviews were hit or miss or like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, Yelp reviews, like is this pre-social media? Like, was this like
is
your
at
first?
the start of Instagram.
Okay.
Do you know I didn't start getting bad, like mean comments until I started doing makeup for Vanderpump Rules. That was my first thing. I
Bring on the trolls.
I can't remember who I posted. I think it might have been a picture of Kristen, and it was a contentious time with the witches of WeHo. And I remember it was like the first time, and I just randomly posted, and I think I just hashtag like Vanderpump Rules or something. I had like 2,000 followers. And I remember people just being like, fuck her. And I was like, and fuck you too for doing her makeup. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, yeah, so that was the beginning of it. I was like, oh, this is not normal.
No.
So I was like, take me back to Yelp.
I kind of love some of the hater comments.
I
now.
know. They're
some
so
of the stuff that I
iconic.
get in there, I'm like,
Are there any that really stick out to you?
there's a couple, but it's, you know what? Something that I've like adopted a mentality of thinking is like, you can walk out, like if you walk down a street in New York City, you're going to have a crazy stranger that screams like bitch at you down the street, or like, there's always like going to be like crazy people just screaming into the abyss. And that's what I think of a lot of the people that are just saying stuff. It's just like they just had to say something. So let them. But if I respect or like somebody and they say something negative, which has literally never happened.
Yeah.
That would bother me. But when it's just people in my DMs being like, you're mean, I'm like, all right, yeah. Well, you want me to be mean to you? You want me to hit accept? Because I've gone through your profile now and I have some words. I'm like, if you think I'm so mean, why are you coming for me? Because I will eat you up.
I know you used to love Reddit. That was like your favorite platform before being on a TV show. Do you avoid Reddit now or do you still look?
No, I love Reddit still. I just have most of the Bravo stuff blocked. So I see some housewife stuff every once in a while, or like a couple like big pieces of news, but I have like anything related to Valley, Vanderpump, like my own name, I have blocked out because I don't really want to see it. I will go down the rabbit hole if it pops up on my feed. So now like most of my stuff is like UFOs and like
yes, that's my Reddit too. I love like pop culture chat. Yeah. I don't have any Bravo stuff on my Reddit anymore. I don't know what happened, but
and then once you start avoiding, if you don't click on it, then it kind of gets out of your algorithm anyway. Yeah. So I don't, I have read some stuff that I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy about, me, the show, whatever. But it doesn't serve me. Sometimes it'll put me in a bad mood. So it's just not worth doing it. And I don't, I feel grateful and fortunate enough that my everyday life is calm and happy and nice. So I'm like, I'm not trying to ruin my day just from seeing somebody screaming into the abyss like, hey, we don't like Janet. It's like,
I have this obsession with the concept of, this is a little not morbid, but like we have one life. Yeah. This is this saying, this is what you're gonna do with your one life.
Yeah.
You're gonna sit there. Listen,
it's gotta make them feel better.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I take a nap a lot, and that's what I would choose to do with my one life.
Yeah.
But could you imagine spending your time being like Janet from season 1 of The Valley? Like that's what you're doing with your one little life.
Yeah.
This is it, baby. This is all you got.
I also get so many. I feel like in this position when you put your life out publicly, also we all tend to ignore the really nice comments and then sift through and find the one bad one. And I get so many nice stuff from so many great people too that I'm like, I'm not going to just cross over these and forget that all of the nice people exist just so I can concentrate on the one person who wants to be mean to me today. Like there's so many nice messages from people that I'm like, and I make a point to respond to those. Mm-hmm. So
have you gotten any comments or feedback that you actually agreed with and you're like, oh, I need to work on that in myself?
I think if you don't take some of it to heart, then you're delusional. Yeah. So there's definitely stuff. There's stuff where people are like, damn, she was so mean in this instance. And I'm like, oh my God, I was. Like, oh, that was, like reflecting back on my pregnancy. I'm like, oh, she's so like this. I'm like, yeah, I was. I was hormonal and bitchy and there you go. So there's absolute stuff. There's some stuff that's like, I don't know. So what I saw like somewhat recently is people were like, Janet only wears beige. And it was this whole thing. So you know what I've been doing lately? Wearing beige, baby. I'm like,
actually brown, but
I'm like, but they're like, oh, beige, just like her personality. And I'm like, yep. And I'm going to keep doing it and see how long I can keep this little bit going.
All new wardrobe.
That
season 3
so crazy too, because it's like, who even notices that kind of stuff?
I thought I wore a lot of black. And so to hear that I wear beige, I'm like, that's interesting because I didn't realize. But I don't know. There's certain, but I'm like, okay, sure. I'm going to wear more of that and see what happens.
Yeah.
This upsets the people. Ben.
It's such an insult too. Beige,
right?
I also think like in time, the truth truly always comes out.
Yeah.
Like, and I just think with enough time, people will see things and certain people in a more
for who
truthful
they
way.
are.
Mm-hmm. No, I think so too. I will say that with a lot of the negative comments that I've received over the many years, there are certain things where I'm like, you know what, actually, you're right. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to work on that. And it's like, yes, it can be living in the comment section at times, but I also feel like I can't grow unless I, change. And there are things that I don't like about myself that I've watched back on the show. And I'm like, well, thank you for pointing that out. I know you were being an asshole, but actually now I recognize that and now I can do better. So thank you.
Yeah. It's finding the balance, I'm sure, because
totally
so many people, the commenters, obviously, the people who want to say the stuff that they want to say just leans negative. But I'm sure in there, having the, like you said, the self-awareness to be like, oh yeah, noted.
Yeah.
I was a little crazy during my pregnancy. Noted. Not going to change anything about it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
You know what's crazy is that with Kristen and Nia being as pregnant as they are, they most likely won't have to film pregnant.
Lucky. They are so lucky.
Oh, because of the...
They'll have the babies
I think they're
before
both
the season
due.
probably starts coming.
Yeah.
If there's a season 3, it will likely be in the summer, as the shows always are.
And
they'll have the babies by then.
Because the due dates would be early summer, right?
Filming pregnant is a very small, exclusive club on Bravo.
Yeah.
Like, there's not very
Teddy
many.
Mellencamp, I remember watching her season pregnant.
Teresa.
Giudice?
Yeah, because she gave birth on camera, I think.
I don't think I watched the show the first couple seasons, and that's when she was pregnant, I guess, with her youngest.
Because Bravo kind of has, like, the housewives are
all
older.
the Kardashians,
yeah,
obviously.
But for, like, the Bravo people, like, it is, like, a small group because a lot of the housewives are out of kid age.
Yeah.
So you don't see a ton of pregnancies. And so, honestly, Nia and Kristen are so lucky if they don't have to film pregnant, because it is just, it's tough. It's a whole, you really have to find, I struggled, and I look back and realize I didn't do the perfect job of it, but I really wanted to have boundaries that kept me feeling safe and healthy, because I didn't know where that was. I didn't know, like, okay, if I, am up late or people are screaming and stuff, like, how will this affect me? So I kind of, like, pushed back a lot of stuff. And, there's some stuff now where I'm like, oh, I was being too crazy about that, or I should have just let that go.
But at the time, your sole focus is on the health of this
100%.
baby.
And it's
that's
your
all
first
you
time
care
ever
about.
being pregnant.
Right. I didn't know what being pregnant was like. And now I had a healthy delivery, baby, all of that. So totally worth it in my mind. Whatever boundaries, even if it was too much at the time, it worked for me. So it's a kind of tough spot to be in where you're like, what do I say no to? What do I push back on? What do I, get mad at?
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing when it's not just, oh, I'm putting myself out there. You're like, I'm putting this baby also potentially in harm's way in these situations. So you have to kind of find the right balance. And did I do a perfect job of that? Absolutely not. But
I don't think
I don't have any
anybody
regrets
does,
either.
you know? It's like, especially when it is your first pregnancy, no one knows what the fuck they're doing. And you have to listen to your body. And if you're starting to have contractions, then you need to remove the people or things or whatever it is who are causing
but that Braxton thing, what's it called? The Braxton Hicks? Like, your stomach was rock hard.
Yeah,
that
it
was scary as fuck.
Yeah.
Because
No, that's
for like
terrifying.
24 hours, for like 12 hours, you did not know what was going on until your doctor got back to you.
I mean, I almost went to the hospital that night because I was like, what do I do?
You were only like, what? Like, you were not even...
I was 7 months pregnant.
Okay, yeah, so that's...
And now, if you get pregnant again and have another baby, you know the things to look out for.
Right.
But until you go through that, you have no idea.
And not that it's like the exact same, but you were also filming a reality show for the first time ever in your life. So it's like, basically, it's like you started a new job while you were pregnant.
Right.
So,
right.
And it's not the least stressful job that you could imagine.
Well, it can be a lot, but I like if Kristen and Nia both timing wise, it works out for them where they don't have to film pregnant. They're lucky because it's a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
And I had, friends of mine, friends, cast members who said, well, if you can't handle it, then quit. If you can't handle stress while you're pregnant, then quit. And I don't think that that's the right thing because we should be able to share the reality of pregnancy, I think, on, on
or
TV.
Else drop the word reality TV.
And also give some grace to someone who's doing this full time for the first time. You were my friend on Vanderpump. You never had these intense conversations and situations where the focus is on you.
No. Yeah.
It was much different.
100%.
So although you understood the world from the side, being in it
totally different. As much as I thought I was prepared, I was like, I know what this, how this works.
Never
whatever.
fully
It's
prepared.
different. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
So I honestly there'll be lucky because pregnancy should be a time where you just get to enjoy it and really soak up. Like other than, a couple bumps in the road with friends, that everybody saw on TV. Other than those bumps, my pregnancy was so great. Like I truly, it was a time where I really reflected a lot on what was important to me and, thought about family a lot more than I ever have. And it was such a beautiful time other than a few, friendship things. But other than that, it was really great. And so I wish that upon anybody who's pregnant is to really be able to soak it in and enjoy the time.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Well, to wrap up the first episode of the new year, we've obviously got to do the Jax-Hole of the week. And although I said it wasn't always going to be Jax, this week it is.
Oh,
Well,
no.
happy 2025.
You know,
What did he do this week?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw or listened yet because it just came out, but Laura Lee from season 1 of Vanderpump Rules was on the Vanderpump Rules Party podcast.
Oh, I did see clips of this.
I have not yet.
She revealed that when they got caught having sex in the bathroom, that he had unlocked the door
Purposely?
purposefully.
Did they get caught on camera? Were cameras up?
Apparently they were, but
remember
they
this
weren't able to show that. But they did get
What,
caught.
they had them like,
I guess like
nudie?
they heard something
Wait,
going
okay,
on.
rewind. So she said he unlocked the door purposely. They were hooking up in a bathroom.
Yes.
so he wanted to get caught.
Yes. Yeah, he
Well,
wanted
they
to make
might.
Stassi jealous. He wanted to, like, whatever it was.
Was he wearing a GoPro? Like, what in the hell?
I know. But, like, to
That
do,
is
it's,
so skeezy.
I know. I mean, shocking? No, it's Jax. But
Yeah. But also, Laura Lee. Haven't heard that name popped up in
I know,
maybe
right?
I start to rewatch old Pump Rules like during the pandemic, and I didn't even know she existed until I watched season 1.
Yeah.
And then I think I remember something about We're the Millers, which is streaming on
Oh,
Netflix
yeah.
right now, by the way, top
Boner
10.
Garage.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Laura Lee, I guess, is on the podcast circuit
Has
now.
anybody have you talked to her since season 1, or did
Oh,
you
yeah,
keep
you
up with
knew
her for a
her.
little while? Or
I've seen her. I, like, ran into her in San Diego randomly years ago. I haven't talked to her recently. We don't
Huh.
follow each other or anything. But
do you know if
Yeah.
anybody else keeps up with her, or
I don't
seen
think
her?
so. Like, no
Okay.
one I'm close with.
I feel like I haven't seen
If
or
anyone,
heard
it would probably be
anything.
Kristen, honestly. Kristen keeps people from like back then
Yeah.
around still. Like
Huh.
Carmen, I think she's still friends with.
Wow.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Laura Lee, what a blast from the past. I wonder
I know.
what she was like, oh, let me do this podcast.
I don't
That's-
know, but
Yeah. That's like such a blast from this. I feel like, though, with the show rebooting or whatever, you want to call it, ending, that it's kind of drudged up a lot of like memories for people, and people are being kind of nostalgic about like early seasons and stuff. So I feel like I have seen like memes and things, or like TikToks of people being like, where's Laura Lee when we need an opinion on this? Or like, we need her to like come, clear the air on this. So I think that's probably like, there was like little hints of people
Yeah.
being like, we need her opinion. So I bet the Vanderpump Party
Yeah.
people jumped on that or found
I'll
her.
try to
yeah.
listen.
And I saw on her Instagram bio, she has hashtag VPR, hashtag Vanderpump Rules
Really?
in her bio.
Is she
Okay.
active on Insta? Like, did she have recent posts like within the
Yeah,
last 10
I think
years?
so. Like
Hmm.
December.
Oh.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed she just kind of was like, I went and did We're the Millers. It didn't work out. Like, and then just kind of.
The client list. She
Oh,
was a
yeah, she
regular
did
on that.
So I figured she just kind of became a character actor, maybe worked, maybe met a husband, and just kind of
Yeah.
into the ether.
I think she works in animation now.
Oh my God, yeah. I think
She had something, it was like something with stripper dinosaurs called like Jurasses.
yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, I Googled this when
Did you say Jurasses?
Jurasses.
Wait, that's like
I don't know.
that's like when porns like take like very innocent movie subjects and titles,
Jurassic Park.
and they like add like tits or ass into like the
Yeah.
name of the thing.
Jurassic Park here.
Oh my God.
Is it a porno?
I don't know. I haven't
cartoon?
seen it. I saw that.
I know what I'm doing
somewhere online.
later.
Yeah.
Wow, what a creative mind she
Yeah,
must have.
I know.
How
for her.
interesting.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Huh. That's kind of fascinating. She just popped up. But and also,
And she said that she asked Peter out on a date and he turned her down.
Wow. Like recently, or
No, like back then when she worked at SIR.
oh, she has so many memories from back
Yeah.
then.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her, I guess.
So go give it a listen
do you
if you
keep
guys
in
want
touch
to know
with
more.
Peter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep in touch with
She
her.
just has to walk into SIR and she can say, hey, anytime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess Jax is a Jax-Hole.
All right.
Rain,
Well-
rain is wet.
Yeah.
That people doing it in that bathroom is really gross. It's like a broom closet. You did it in there, didn't you? Has everybody
Thank you
done it in that
guys
bathroom?
so much for listening and watching. We will be back getting into some hot topics. So tune in. See you then.
Been searching for this all my